Now, let me go to another point. You, sir, are in the field of diplomacy if we confirm your nomination. Can you define what diplomacy is?
Diplomacy is from time to time maintain friendship, extend closer relationship with the country that you expect to be assigned.
No, sir. That's not diplomacy. Would you like to try again?
Yes, in some other ways. I mean to say, consider what kind of activities. Diplomatic, consider courtesy, protocol as one of the most important. I don't know if I answered it correct.
The Wikipedia defines diplomacy as the art and practice of conducting negotiations between representatives of groups or states. Yes, maybe the goal of diplomacy is always to maintain friendship, as is the goal of human relations, but it is the practice of negotiating.
I understand, especially the rank and file.
You will be affiliating with other diplomats if you were to be sent to Beijing. So you would know that the games that diplomats have to play, in the words of some pundits, it is the
Thank you for your advice.
it is the mission of your country sending you to lie for your country.
That I know. Thank you.
And to obtain information
Thank you.
which you send back to your country.
That's it. Thank you.
All right. Can you tell us what is the definition of hard power?
Hard power, speaking strong.
No, do you know the definition of hard power? You're
Hard, you
you're
mean
you're
hard.
guessing now. You're not Are you familiar with the term hard power?
I understand, but it concerns what incidents.
Would you like to repeat that, Ambassador Lee? What is your understanding of the term hard power?
Hard power, spelled H-A-R-D, hard power, as opposed to soft power.
That's correct. You see, that's our future representative to the International Court of Justice.
If I'm correct, hard power is a strong way of expression. And
Actually, hard power is the use of either the use of force, military force, or economic sanctions
Strong.
in order to obtain one's goals.
that's why
So therefore, by that, you would now understand what is meant by the term soft power.
yes, Your Honor.
What is soft power in your
Soft
understanding?
power is not going into war.
Is what?
Not going to the war.
More precisely, soft power is the use of nice things like economic aid, cultural ties, etc., in order to win friends and influence people.
That's right, Your Honor. Thank you.
What is Track 1 diplomacy?
Come again.
Tract 1, T-R-A-C-K, Tract 1 diplomacy.
Track diplomacy. Track.
Track, like railroad tracks. They call it Track 1 diplomacy.
That's a principle to adopt, to implement
No,
with a principle.
no.
Yeah.
Track is a channel. So track 1 diplomacy is the type of diplomacy you would be employing because you are an official representative.
Yeah.
What is track 2 diplomacy? Are you familiar with the term?
Not familiar.
So you don't know what track 3 diplomacy is?
I have to be.
You don't know what para-diplomacy means?
The term, I have to admit I don't know the term.
Yes. When we met about 2 months ago, I did ask you to study a lot because my concern was that your lack of experience and your lack of training would be a setback for the Filipino people if you were to be sent to Beijing.
I cannot argue with you, Your Honor.
No, we're not asking you to argue with me,
yes.
Mr. Ambassador. That's not the point. The
I'm
point
just
is
explaining.
we're trying to test your fitness and competence for the position and your ability to learn new things because obviously you were not trained and have not been trained in the field of diplomacy. So that is why we ask these questions, which we normally do not ask, just to determine how far you've come since the last time we met.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Now, Mr. Ambassador, you were quoted as saying, and this is the column of Ellen Tordesillas, when she asked you a question about the West Philippine Sea problem. You responded that it was not your priority and that you would concentrate on business. Would you like to explain that, Mr. Ambassador?
So far, Your Honor, I have not met who is he? Agoncillo? What's his name? I have never met her.
All right. What would be your area of focus then as ambassador to Beijing?
Regarding West Philippines?
I beg your pardon?
Do you want me to tell you?
Just give us your 3 major areas of focus where you to be appointed ambassador to Beijing.
What I can bring up is what is the difference between the South China Sea and the West Philippine Sea.
What is the difference between the South China Sea and the West Philippine Sea?
Yes, because we are now.
In the eyes of the Chinese, is there any difference? In the eyes of mainland China, is there any difference?
In terms of the name, there is different, but the location-wise is the same.
Location-wise, it's the same. So, in the eyes of the People's Republic of China, what we call now the West Philippine Sea is part of the South China Sea.
I think so, Your Honor.
You think so?
If they are in China, they call it South China Sea. We in Philippines, we can say this West Philippines.
So you don't know when we started using the term West Philippine Sea?
We only lately, the West Philippine Sea is overlap portion of the South China Sea. The West Philippine Sea also includes 200 miles economic zone as measured from our outermost island.
Yes, that is correct. The West Philippine Sea is a recent invention because constantly referring to the disputed area and calling it the South China Sea is not exactly in the interest of the Filipino nation. So we just called it now. Recently, I think since last year or 2 years ago, we refer to it as the West Philippine Sea.
Yes, Your Honor.
Which is part of the claims that we have that historically is part of the South China Sea.
Yes, Your Honor.
That's correct, right. What are the 3 pillars of Philippine diplomacy.
Regarding
Mr. Ambassador, they call it the 3 pillars of Philippine diplomacy, and this has been in existence for some time, from the time of Secretary Alberto Romulo. So are you familiar with the 3 pillars of Philippine democracy?
democracy, not concerning the West Philippines.
Philippine diplomacy. Yes, I'm sorry. Did I say something else? I'm very sorry. Philippine diplomacy, Mr. Ambassador. I misspoke.
Philippine diplomacy. We have more than 100 of diplomatic.
Somebody handed you a note, so meron kang kodigo. Basahin mo na lang.
The economic diplomacy.
Economic, yes, that's one.
Investment consider is
Political is the second one.
Yes.
And assistance to Filipino nationals is the third. Those have been,
Yes.
for several years now, the 3 basics of the Department of Foreign Affairs.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
This is the first time you've heard of it. Did you not receive a briefing, which is naturally given to all ambassadors?
I have a lot of briefing. In 6 months' time, I took 6 months' time already, Your Honor.